Hello, viewer. I am your host, Wisdom Wizard. When I was a new wizard, some years ago, I made the simple Google search how to be a wizard. The first search result was a Wikihow article entitled How to be a Wizard. It got me interested, but sadly I can't seem to have found it lately. Luckily I saved a copy-paste of it, and this is what I decided. I am going to try to put the steps of the article into video form, with Plotagon. Now, you may be asking, why Plotagon? Well, because the people around me do not approve of my lifestyle, so I must remain anonymous. It's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. Keep in mind that I don't necessarily agree with everything in the article, and I'm not saying you have to follow it to a T to be a wizard, but it's a good guide and I want to present it to an audience that is interested. See you soon, and take care. Step 1. Donate all your costumes to Goodwill. Wizards in stories only wore robes, because it was their common clothing, not because they needed them to be wizards. Wearing cloaks will only make you seem like a different person. Instead, you want to understand yourself. Wear what you usually wear, unless performing a spell. To sum it up, unless long, flowing robes are your style, then don't go into costume when going about everyday business. There is power in your mind. If certain garb makes you feel powerful, wear it. You don't need to abide by anyone else's concept of what is appropriate. Step 2. Start a journal. This journal is your book of shadows. Your book of shadows is where you must record your dreams, emotions, spells, results of spells, insights and interpretations. Keep it with you at all times. Synchronicities, times when the universe seems to line up, can happen at any time. It is through interplay with the world that you will notice the universe taking action. Sitting alone in your bedroom probably won't lead to magical experiences. But if you get out in the world, possibilities abound. So take your journal with you. Of course, being in Plotagon, I have only so many places to go, but let's ignore that for now. Step 3. Research wizard lore. The wizard craze didn't start with Harry Potter or even with Merlin and King Arthur. It's interesting to see how the mythology began, and how the stories have changed over the years. You can find this at your local library or all over the internet. Every pro needs inspiration. Though you want to be your own person, these figures can spur on your creativity and introduce you to worlds you didn't even know existed. There are dozens of types of magic out there. How do you know which one you're called to if you don't broaden your perspective? Step 4. Connect with life. If you've studied deeply enough, you'll see that all plants and animals have something in common. You can also learn this through studying alchemy. Wizards are always hooked with nature in some way. Try to feel close to nature in ways that others don't. A connection to nature doesn't necessarily require veganism or an end to stepping on ants. Just know that every living thing has more value than all the world's diamonds. The same elements that make up the universe make up us. That is, we are the dust of stars. Quite literally. That's not magic, it's science. If anyone tells you differently, refer them to a textbook. There's a basis for this belief. Step 5. Sharpen your mind. Wizards, both true and mythological, are known to be wise. True or not? Often, we look at naturally smart people with jealousy. The truth is, they weren't born with better brains, they just know how to be smart, so saith the lesseth. Take efforts to be constantly learning. Knowledge is power. Smart people are organized and consistently practice what they've learned. For example, the reason that the teacher's pet, Jimmy, passed the spelling test was that he went over the words many times. He even had his mother give him a pretest. He's not necessarily smart, he just did the right stuff. Step 6. Don't just keep your mind fit, keep your body fit. Even the most solid wizards in mythology weren't completely still. They had to stay healthy somehow. You'll find that a healthy body leads to a healthy mind, and not necessarily the other way around. So get out there. You should have fun with it. Learn how to ride the unicycle. Pick up fencing, an excellent sport for both training the mind and body. Become a mountain climber. Do something only a crazy wizard might be daring enough to do. Step 7. Become a whiz at something. In some lore, wizards specialize in certain things. Are you good at drawing? Work to become great at it. Cultivate your talents. To some, your skill will seem magical in itself. Drawing, languages, science and history will all be topics you'll have heavy amounts of time invested in, so if you have any skills in these arenas, grow them. You'll be all the more prepared for wizarddom. Step 8. Develop an interest in astronomy and astrology. Having an idea of what is happening in the universe is very important. A lot of force is in reading constellations and knowing what a star really is. The universe is your tool belt, so it's best to know how it acts and reacts. Step 9. Study religions. Wizards and various legends are often associated certain religions. Merlin, for example, is associated with Christianity. However, many religions have connections with wizardry and some still do to this day. Study Judaism, Taoism, Christianity, Hinduism, Druidism, Neopaganism, Norse mythology, Greek mythology, Egyptian mythology, and everything in between. Magic has definitely evolved over the years. You'll find it spans across thousands and thousands of years and manifests in different forms depending on the culture you're researching. It just goes to show that magic isn't something you can easily define and package. And it also shows that it's part of life. Step 10. Learn the occult. Occult comes from Latin occultus, meaning hidden. Read everything you can get your hands on about magic, wizardry, sorcery, and witchcraft. The more you read, the more empowered you'll feel and be. To get truly authentic, you'll want to learn other languages, namely Latin. Other languages, like Old Norse, use runes, which are also common in this realm. The less common it is, the more you'll feel its power. Step 11. Try to sense things before anyone else does. Wizards know if something is about to happen. There are two ways of sensing: intuition and preparation. With intuition, you know in your heart that something is happening. It's a strong force, and it often can lead you the right way if you listen to it. Preparation is where you use facts and sometimes objects to figure out what is going on. Both intuition and preparation are strong forces. A large part of this is listening. Not just hearing, listening. It isn't enough to hear what's going around you, you have to listen, process, and understand the stimuli around you. Take moments every day to tune in. You may find that in time you're noticing things you never did before. Step 12. Know and work with the 7 natural laws of the universe. The 7 natural laws are the metaphysical laws that govern the universe. 1. The law of vibration. The law of vibration states that everything vibrates and nothing rests. Vibrations of the same frequency resonate with each other, so like attracts like energy. Everything is energy, including your thoughts and what connects your computer to the internet. Consistently focusing on a particular thought or idea attracts its vibration match. How to apply it? Focus on what you want instead of what you don't want. 2. The law of relativity. The law of relativity states that nothing is what it is until you relate it to something. Point of view is determined by what the observer is relating to. The nature, value, or quality of something can only be measured in relation to another object. How to apply it? Practice relating your situation to something worse than yours, and you will feel good about where you are. 3. The law of cause and effect. The law of cause and effect states that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Every cause has an effect, and every effect has a cause. How to apply it? Consistently think and act on what you want to be effective at in getting it. 4. The law of polarity. The law of polarity states that everything is an opposite. Hot, cold, light, dark, up, down, good, bad. In the absence of that which you are not, that which you are is not. Polar opposites make existence possible. If what you are not didn't coexist with what you are, then what you are could not be. Therefore, do not condemn or criticize what you are not or what you don't want. How to apply it? Look for the good in people and situations. What you focus on, you make bigger in your life. 5. The law of rhythm. The law of rhythm states that everything is a natural cycle. The tides go in and back out, night follows day, and life regenerates itself. We all have good times and bad times, but nothing stays the same. Change is constant. Knowing that this too shall pass is great wisdom about life's ebb and flow. How to apply it? When you are on the downswing, know that things will get better. Think of the good times that are coming. 6. The law of gestation. The law of gestation states that everything takes time to manifest. All things have a beginning and grow into form as more energy is added to it. Thoughts are like seeds planted in our fertile minds that bloom into our physical experience if we have nourished them. How to apply it? Stay focused and know that your goals will become reality when the time is right. And number 7, the law of transmutation. The law of transmutation states that energy moves in and out of physical form. Your thoughts are creative energy. The more you focus your thinking on what you want, the more you harness your creative power to move that energy into results in your life. The universe organizes itself according to your thoughts. How to apply it? Put your energy and effort, your thoughts and actions into attracting what you want, and you will surely attract the physical manifestation of that energy. Step 13. Meditate. Meditation improves your ability to judge, your calmness in disaster, your feeling of oneness with the universe, and greatly improves your psychic abilities. Being one with yourself is one of the first steps to being one with the universe. Step 14. Develop powers. Wizards are very powerful people. You should at least know how to see auras, make up Psyball and Shield. These 3 things alone will jog you on the path to being superhuman. Also, you can make your own wand and enchant it. Some people will tell you this is silly. Don't listen to them. Humans only use 20% of their brains, right? Who's to say you're not using part of that extra 80%? While you won't be able to read minds, you will be able to see things you didn't see before. Step 15. Do not use black magic. It can be extremely tempting at one point or another to cave to the dark side, but it only leads to more pain. Using your powers for good and not evil will ultimately better you and the world around you. If you believe in black magic, you probably believe it's some sort of karma. So know that what goes around will, indeed, come around. The last thing you want are the forces of the universe working against you. Step 16. Don't join a religion or cult. Most of the time they will only try to force their beliefs on you. You can base your beliefs on theirs, maybe even study with them, but in the end you have to find your own truth. A wizard is his own person. You may adhere to a school of thought, but in the end you are you, not a group you belong to or a label you apply to yourself. You are only at the will of the universe. Step 17. Do not just study magic. Study both conventional and alternative science. 2. Science is an aspect of the truth, as is the occult, just a separate aspect. There's no need to ignore the progression of technology and knowledge. It's a feat of the human race. You need only incorporate it into your wealth of knowledge. Science can show you levels of the world you didn't even know existed, from the micro to the macro. Where magic leaves off, science can often pick up. If you have questions, don't shy away from using science as your explanation. You'll have betrayed no one. Step 18. Build a temple. It does not matter what god or other being or concept you dedicate your temple to, whatever or whomever you believe in is the path you should take. You must build a temple, not a hired worker. You must have put in the effort and taken the time yourself to show dedication to your specific god or being or concept. You should have an altar in your temple. If you do not have the time or money to build a temple, make a lararium. Step 19. Learn to understand the nature of magic. There are many theories as to how it works. You may begin to see it through a change in your own mind, or through the actions of a divine being, or even the very nature of the universe necessitating it. Practice often, and think hard. Find the coven or something similar. Having a group of people that are striving for the same things you are will only make you stronger, in every sense of the word. you'll be able to learn, and eventually teach. Step 20. Interact with Fae. The Fae people are beings who live alongside us, though do not appear to us often because humans have become too materialistic and easily unlikable. Fae are particularly famous for dwelling in Ireland, though they appear all over the world. There are some Fae who are trying to help us and some who want to end humans. Communicating with Fae, at least the kind ones, will help you become wiser and help you understand nature. At the start, assume they're there and listening. You can't form a connection if you don't try. Well, that was the entire list. Like I said at the beginning, you don't have to follow it to a T to be a great wizard, but it's a good guide for those starting out. I wish you luck on your venture.